Hello and welcome to the 160th Photography Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk about BTSing your shoot. So first of all, what is BTS? Well, BTS is behind the scenes, and it's just additional content that you would make to show how you did something. So you get them all the time in DVD and Blu-ray extras, just really sort of interviews and following cast and crew around, looking at how they did special effects. But it also has a place in photography. So you can do it very simply. You can just show in your content, which could be Instagram or wherever else, you can show an unedited image and an edited image, and that shows the effects that your editing did. So you can see those on Instagram sometimes, or you can go one step further. You can actually go and film your shoots, and then you can show a bit more context and a bit more about what you did. Now, BTSing your shoots is very easy. It doesn't really take much time, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be there. It just has to be made, really. No one expects wonderful content. No one will criticize if things are a bit shaky, because the people who are watching it just want to see how you did it. The advantages of producing this extra content, which really doesn't take any time, is it can be used as content to promote your work or what you do. And of course you don't have to do it, but I've done it quite a lot for my YouTube channel, and I've made YouTube videos out of it. It's just additional content that can go on Instagram or go on YouTube or go on a blog, and it really doesn't take much time. Whatever your subject is, it will also help promote your subject. If your subject is a landscape for landscape photography, it will give some promotion there, not that it's needed. If you're working with a model or a product, it will also promote that model or product. So normally everyone's willing to get involved in BTS because it's something people can link to. It's something that gives content for them as well. So all you need really is a smartphone. And all you really need to do as a very, very minimum is take a picture of where you're doing the shoot. If you're at home doing macro photography, all you need is just a wide shot of the room you're doing it in that shows the room, the environment, and your setup. And for many things, the setup is key because people want to know how you did something. And the setup provides information on how you did it and a context. So they can say, oh, you did this in your bedroom, or, oh, wow, you did this just at the back of your house, oh, you did this in your garden, wow. So people will look at what you've done, and then they'll use that as a learning tool. So take a picture of the setup, show your image, and then show your edited image. And you can just put those three together, and you effectively have a BTS of your shoot. It's not a great breakdown of your shoot, but it is a behind the scenes. You can see the context that is set up, you can see the first image that was gathered, and then you can see how editing transforms it. If you want to do something slightly better, and this is what I would do if I was doing a model shoot, you can do a quick film of the environment, you can do a quick film of the model with the equipment setup, you can do a quick film of taking the image, and then you show in the video all those to give a good context of what you're doing, and then you show the image, and then finally the edited image. So my sort of YouTube work will have a bit of B-roll, a bit of context about the location I'm in, the setup. To polish it more, you might want to put music over it, you might want to voice over, you might want to add text. They're called lower thirds that just says equipment setup, unedited image, edited image. People also find it interesting to put, if you put your camera settings in, so you might say unedited image, 1/250th of a second, f8, natural light. Where you're taking something with natural light, there isn't too much of equipment-wise to show. When you're doing something more complicated like macro, or you're doing lights, or you're using flash, that's really where you want to show something. If you wanted to be even more polished, you can get someone to just film with their mobile phone or film with your mobile phone. If you've got someone who's coming along to help and film, then it's even better because they can film while you're doing things. Don't film hours and hours of stuff because you don't need it. Just film what you need, or just photograph what you need, and then quickly edit it on an editing app on your phone like iMovie or Power Director, and publish it to Instagram or YouTube or wherever. And don't forget, because you're doing this to effectively market yourself or get better awareness of yourself, you need certain things in it that people can use. You might do a fabulous shoot, you might get a fabulous end image that's one of the best you've ever done, it's perfect, it's really, really good. Your BTS video might be really good, but then if people don't know where to find you or your work when they watch that, or don't know where to find more information about you, then potentially you've failed in your endeavor. So you need to put in your website link, your social media links, both in the video and in the description of the video. And you want to put your name in as well, or your brand. So you might want to put 1/160th of a second photography podcast and have that throughout the video. Find more about 1/160th of a second photography podcast here. So you're just putting material out in addition to your photography, and you're helping people if they want to find out more, or if they want to see more images or contact you, you're giving them the information they need to go off and do that. So I did a shoot where I got some really good images, and the model I did the shoot with actually brought along someone, and they just filmed the whole thing with their mobile phone. They were always filming with their mobile phone. It was a 2-hour shoot, so probably they got an hour and a half of footage. Now, that's too much, isn't it? Yes, they can go back and they can pick out the bits and they can make a whatever from it. But when you finish your set, if you're going to move on or change the setup or do anything different, have a look through your images and think, would I ever publish any images I got from this setup? And if the answer is yes, just do a little bit of video of the setup with your model or your subject there, just in case you want to BTS it. You could do a little video clip just before you start shooting each new setup and things like that, but it's a lot to remember and you're not always going to use it. So you could trim this down even further and be more efficient by, if you think you've got good images, then at the end just do your BTS footage as though it was the start, and that will save you some time. Going one step further, if you have a 360 camera that does video, or even if it doesn't do video, what you can do is you can just plonk that somewhere. You're going to have to trust people and steal it, and you just record it, and you record your whole setup and your shoot, and then later you can just reframe it. So you can reframe it so you're on top looking down, you can reframe it from the model's point of view, the kit's point of view, your point of view, and you can do it that way. So you can do something called over capture, and then later in production you can just focus on the bits you want. You can of course strap a GoPro to your body. Again, you've only got your perspective. With 360 cameras you can have any perspective, which is really, really useful. I have two 360 cameras. One records video and one just records stills. Now when I first got the stills 360 camera, I would just hold it above my head, press the button, and it would take a picture of the whole environment, and that meant I could reframe the picture and talk about what I was doing. So many of my early YouTube videos, I used that as a method of talking about what I did on a shoot and what I was doing. I just held up a 360 camera, and then later when I was talking about it and narrating in the video, I just repositioned and reorientated the picture, and that enabled me to have a conversation about my shoots. So let me know what you think, and I'd love to see some of your BTS work along with any of your work that you're producing at the moment. Thank you. Goodbye.